Good morning and welcome everybody. I am starting today my lecture series on cardiomyopathy. Cardiomyopathies represent a broad class of structural heart disease that are of major concern to the anesthesiologist. The American Heart Association defines the cardiomyopathies as a heterogeneous group of diseases of myocardium associated with mechanical or electrical dysfunction that usually exhibit inappropriate ventricular hypertrophy or dilatation and are due to a variety of causes. Classically, cardiomyopathies were defined by emphasizing the clinical implications of these diseases. Therefore, this focuses on the familiar approach of classifying the cardiomyopathies into hypertrophic or dilated or restrictive or arrhythmogenic right ventricular. This approach allows the anesthesiologist to focus on clinical implications on anesthetic care of each of these disorders. Epidemiology and pathophysiology. The hypertrophic cardiomyopathy HCM occurs at a rate of 1 in 500 in the adult population of the United States and is characterized by a large non-dilated left ventricle. This characteristic must exist in the absence of any other known causes of left ventricular hypertrophy. The causes of HCM are both genetic and non-genetic. The non-genetic form is usually seen in athletics and is a milder hypertrophy. The genetic form is due to the mutation in one of up to 11 genes and thus results in large amounts of clinical variability. Pathophysiology. The hypertrophic ventricular that becomes harder to fill passively, resulting in diastolic dysfunction. Hypertrophic muscle requires more oxygen to function, making it prone to ischemia. In cases involving hypertrophy of the intraventricular septum, dynamic left ventricular outflow tract obstruction can pose a unique challenge to the anesthesiologist. Dilated cardiomyopathy, that is DCM, has a prevalence of 1 in 20,000 in a middle-aged population and is characterized by ventricular dilatation secondary to toxic, metabolic or infectious causes leading to myocyte damage. Etiologies include viral or alcohol-related myocyte degeneration with a pattern of irregular myocyte hypertrophy and atrophy. Histologically, one also sees the perivascular and interstitial fibrosis. Viral DCM is most common in young, previously healthy individuals subjected to Coxsackie B or ecovirus. Alcohol-related DCM results from chronic ingestion and is most often reversible. Restrictive cardiomyopathy, that is RCM, is the least common and defined by impaired ventricular filling of normal-sized ventricles. This is usually due to fibrosed or scarred endomyocardium. Causes include deposition of abnormal substances like amyloid, iron, glycogen, or tumor. Scarring related to anthracycline toxicity, radiation, or endomyocardial diseases such as hypereosinophilic syndrome. Recently, scientists are describing a genetic component to RCM as well. Now we come to arrhythmogenic right ventricular cardiomyopathy, that is ARVD, is defined by a segmental loss of right ventricular myocytes. This is noticeable as segmental wall motion abnormalities of the right ventricle on echocardiography. Death in ARVD occurs secondary to arrhythmia related sudden death or eventual right heart failure. Its prevalence in this country is 1 in 10,000, that is in USA. Histologically, one sees the displacement of normal cardiac tissues with adipocytes or fibrous tissues. Genetic disease with autosomal dominant inheritance and variable penetrance. Signs and symptoms. Now I come to the end of this portion of my discussion, and next day we'll start with the remaining one.